Hello, I'm an autistic parent to two autistic children. They also have other neurodivergences, including ADHD, Tourette's, and OCD. I'm a gay and cisgender woman. My pronouns are she, her. My children have two mums. My 12-year-old daughter is trans. This means she was assigned male at birth but is a girl and identified this in herself many years ago. My daughter isn't out as trans to everyone who knows her, so for that reason, I'm keeping this anonymous. She began socially transitioning at around age 7 or 8. Some tangible steps included asking that we use she, her pronouns and moving towards wearing what was considered the girls' uniform at school. Just as each autistic person has a unique autistic identity, I think the same can be said of a person's LGBTQ plus identity. And similarly, the way this part of your identity feels or the way this is outwardly expressed can change over time, as well as from one environment to another. My daughter was quickly impatient with the lack of progress from her perspective, that she wasn't immediately and consistently being recognised or treated as a girl. In her mind, it was simple and a necessity. There was no agonising coming out or big reveal to myself or my partner, unlike my own experience of telling my parents that I was gay, for example. We supported her and we worried her in private about how she would navigate the world. We witnessed her joy when people she didn't know addressed her as a girl, or when she saw herself in the mirror trying on new clothes of her choice. We live in the suburbs south of London, and she was at a relatively small 2 form entry school. She went through a lot of difficult times with both peers and adults at that school, with the added challenge of navigating those difficult times as a neurodivergent young person. Sadly, some family members have also had difficulty accepting her identity. Both my partner and I are half Indian. Unfortunately, there are both cultural and religious barriers that we continue to work through. My daughter began high school last year where she didn't know anyone and was desperate for a fresh start where she could be known as and treated as a girl. While staff members knew her trans identity, she only just recently began to tell a few friends that she feels she can trust and with whom she wants to share this important part of her identity. My child is extraordinarily brave in a way that I never have been or never will, but she doesn't consider herself brave. She's just being true and absolutely authentic self with no other feasible option in her mind. I don't believe that being autistic or being young should undermine what a young person tells us they know or feel about their gender identity or their sexuality, but I do think it's okay and my responsibility to talk with my young person, to give them space to explore their thinking, to show interest, to even sometimes gently question their thoughts, and to help them feel secure in who they are. Parents don't need to be experts in everything LGBTQ+, and you can explore and be curious along with your young person. We have always had very frank, open discussions about all sorts of topics, including bodies, boundaries, identity, etc. This can sometimes sit way outside of my own comfort zone, but in our family, it's essential. The main reasons being for our children's clarity and their safety. Both my children are very bright with vocabulary beyond their years and a good academic ability and thirst for knowledge, but my children are also frequently confused by language which is ambiguous, vague, or abstract. When my then 10 or 11-year-old had PSHE lessons about bodies and puberty, the lack of clarity was notable. She'd come home confused by discussions. Explanations were vague, and the curriculum deliberately left out details, so it was up to us to fill the gaps. A second reason why we needed to step in was a lack of inclusion. The school took the decision to deliver some classes to boys and girls separately. They expected our trans daughter to sit with the boys, so we considered her well-being and took the decision to help her not have to go through that situation. It was our duty to ensure she didn't miss out on any learning, and we took that upon ourselves. Our approach was affirming, not based on societal norms, and inclusive. We got books out of the library but checked them for use of language, or we challenged what we were reading together with our child. We also sought out LGBTQ plus specific resources for young people. We do revisit conversations or topics often. Whilst our daughter has an insatiable appetite for knowledge, she'd be the first to admit that she also has a very short attention span. So we follow her lead or we pick our moments. We try to carve out alone time with either of us parents and her. This in itself I appreciate is not an easy thing for every family to be able to accommodate, but we certainly have seen its value when we've managed the logistics. Most of her big questions about life or deepest worries unfold way past her bedtime when she can't go to sleep. I don't feel she necessarily gets the best of us at that time of day, but this is way more favourable than her trying to navigate things alone. Plus, sometimes, just sometimes, she actually takes on our advice and it all feels worth it.